Alright, so as you guys can probably hear, it's like 2 o'clock in the morning. It is raining so hard. Like that hard. It's been setting all night, it's just been raining, and yeah, like I'd sleep through anything if it been like by the rain. I'm gonna try and get to sleep if that's possible, and yeah, fingers crossed the rain stops sometime tonight and we get a dry tomorrow. It's 2 AM, been raining solid since I was to bed, and yeah, lots and lots of rain. So there we have it. This is going to be breakfast juice and a bowl for doing my fish. Alrighty, so we've got our saberfish, just scaling. The scales are actually razor sharp, these guys. So you might be wondering why I removed the head off this fish. The saberfish contains lethal little hypodermic spines that basically sit on the ends of his cheeks, and whilst they won't kill you, they give you one hell of a sting. And yeah, they just go straight into you, like the slightest bit of pressure and they'll just go straight into you. And on an island like this, it's almost guaranteed infection time. So this is what we got. These 2 little bits in there, and then that fish. Now if I was absolutely starving, which I'm not, I'd eat all of that. I was gonna say I'd cook it up, but I can't even make a bloody fire. Right. Feed the ocean. Never know, you might get a baby shark or something come and get that. Hey, literally, like, as I said it, a baby shark comes and eats it. No freaking way. But that was pretty cool. Alright, this, add some lime juice, and then we got brekkie. The flood water is kind of going down. We've got a huge stream formed, just kicking it out into the ocean. Lovely, dirty water. Yay. Gotta go spearing for lunch as well. Oh. Basically, I'm not going to be dry for the next, like, day and a bit. Next up, there's heaps and heaps of flies on this thing. I know it's good, obviously. Got wave flies. So you're just going to get your limes, cut them open, and then just pour the lime juice over it. See that? Although to be fair, I might not even need 2. That's where it exposes all the cuts that you got in your fingers that you didn't know about. So then we got something that looks a bit like that, all cut up into bits, and yummy, yummy, yummy. So we'll leave this for like 20 minutes or so, and then we'll wash off the juices, and then we'll eat it. Alright, so we've got our fish. It's going nice and poachy. Flesh has turned white. We're going to add some chili flakes, just because it'll be a bit boring if it's just lime. Go nuts with the chili. Could go a little bit of salt too, take the edge off that lime. I do love my chili, but there's just not a lot coming out, so I'm not like an absolute savage, don't I? So, got something looking like this. You see that? Dun, 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 dun. Cool. Everything is so bloody wet. Now, it's not really cut up into chunks, so we'll have a Little taste, see how he goes. It's really nice. I think anything would be really nice at this stage. I'm so hungry. Yeah, I'm happy with that. This is breakfast. So we got like a very, 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 very basic ceviche going on here. But it's yum, and that's brekkie. So then you're going to be ending up with something like that. I mean, to do this sat in the sand isn't too bad. They're about the same length. And yeah, so now we need to force these into there, into the black core, and then we'll do our constrictor knots around the edges. Obviously reusing rubber on these ones, so we'll make sure that they're extra wet to avoid any tearage, but we're getting there. Okay, so it's just started raining again, which I think is my cue to go in the water and spearfish. These are the new bands. I'm like fairly happy with it. The only drama is somewhere there. I noticed that as I was doing this up. So fingers crossed that holds on. Alrighty, so yeah, it's raining now. Might as well get wet. I'm officially calling this Wet Island. It's the trees are wet, the ground's wet, the sand is wet, I'm wet, the ocean's wet. It's all wet. It's all just one big wet messiness. But there is blue sky over there. So hopefully that comes towards me. That would be really, really cool. I don't know though. We've got a lot of grey and dark grey up over there, and the camera's gone rainy again. So yeah, I'm just going to shut up and get geared up and see you in the water. So here we are, finally back in the water. The visibility seems like it's improved a little bit. It's not as milky, and I'm going to head to the north side of the island this time instead of the south, where the visibility was far worse. Loading up the gun, just double check in to make sure that the new bridle holds and doesn't slip. Excellent, we're going to be fish on. There's definitely a noticeable increase of fish life compared to yesterday. Who knows, it could be all that rain. I often find that when there's a decent low pressure system coming through, the fish just seem to get turned on a little bit more than usual. No signs of large predatory fish though. I go back to where I spotted the jobfish yesterday, and I try just chucking up heaps of sand, doing some scratching and trying to bring them in. I had about 6 dives at this spot and nothing at all. Here I'm just having a sneaky little look to see if there's any crays about, any tropical lobsters, whilst waiting for my jobfish. Got a nice little shark down there, and as you can see, my beautiful island home. Here I'm actually looking for a groper. He was on the outside of the reef and he decided to hole up. He was quite chunky and would have made for an excellent meal, so I decided to hang around and continue my investigation. I got a little bit frustrated and decided to investigate closer, just ending up spooking fish. Here we've got some moo out in the front and some Japanese large-eye sea bream. This white tip reef shark comes right in to check me out. I'm obviously on his patch and he wants to know what the hell I'm doing there, who I am, and how long I plan on staying. Completely distracts me from my dive. As you can see, all these bait are really reactive, and that's a really great sign, and I had numerous dives into this bait ball just hoping that I would see a nice mackerel or something for shooting. These guys are reactive because they've been hunted recently. I decide to start going off the drop-offs at the edge of the reef here. It drops down between 12 to 18 meters. You can see this little groper's come out the front to check me out. I'm not too interested on him because I actually saw a bigger coral trout go into the reef. It's nice not being rained on whilst you're diving. Just check the viz. Stunning conditions indeed. Here I'm at the edge of a drop off, just having a little search, seeing what's out there. I'm probably only down at about 10 meters, 12 meters at this point. But on the next dive I decided to go a bit further down, dive through this like hole looking thing. Check it out. There's no real signs of fish life, but these holes are usually great for grouper, coral trout, and all kinds of big-eyed snapper. This guy looks good size, and he decides to hold in. I take a shot. As you'll see, there was another grouper that just bolted into the hole there. He luckily got away. Look at how reactive this bait is. You can absolutely tell that something in the last half an hour or so, maybe even 10 minutes, was smashing these bait and has made them super nervous and super cautious. Not my best shot placement on a fish, but it's really hard to get a good shot on these guys when they're staring at you head on, because of usually you wait until they turn slightly to the side before you take your shot, so you've got a larger target. And this is what happened today, so here we go, the brown marbled grouper. Happy with him. Thank you kindly, sir. I'm absolutely stoked with this guy. That's all I need for a feed. I don't have a refrigerator on the island, so it's time to head back to camp, make a fire, and cook this guy up. Mission accomplished. Got wet, got fed. Let's go make a fire. Whilst it's nice and dry, we are going to make a fireplace. Wait. And I'll surround that with coconuts, and we'll kind of go from there. Grouper that we got, cod, whatever you want to call him. Whew. I'm stoked. He's gonna feed me very well tonight. We'll probably do some funky shots of him, but yeah, that's what we're eating. He's as stiff as you like, been in the sun, and yeah, so I'm gonna switch back to the iPhone, conserve battery on this thing, and then we'll go from there. Alrighty guys, I'm gonna show you the most flammable thing on the planet. Not quite on the planet, but that nature gives us here on the beaches. This dried palm frond bits is so good, and I'm going to show you how to make a fire with it, and I'm a little bit hot. Alright, so we're just going to stick a little bit of that. There's already heaps packed in there. Then we're going to get our striker light. There we go. Now a lot of this stuff is fairly damp, but you guys can give me a break after all the weather that we had. Alrighty, I'm happy to declare that we have fire. Now I'll just keep adding to it, keep building that fire, and we'll build it out, and we'll chuck larger bits of timber on it. There we go. Fire. And as another YouTuber once said, a guy who doesn't have quite the following that I've got, but we have fire, baby. Now it's time to cook up, and yeah, gonna get this puppy on the go. Whew. It's getting a bit hot, a bit stiff. Right, I'm gonna switch back to the phone now. Thank you, GoPro. Whilst I was waiting for the fire to heat up a bit, I decided to launch the drone, capture some awesome footage, and just scout the area out a bit more. I stumbled across some baby sharks, just swimming in the shallows, baby black tips and a baby white tip. Absolutely stunning. So cool that these guys use the protection of the shallow waters until they're a bit older and grown, and then they'll venture out into the deeper reefs. The colours today were beautiful. So this is my fire. Wait. Obviously a few of these logs are a bit too big for me to cut with a cane knife, so I've just put them over the fire. I'll weaken the middle and then I'll take them off and then give them a chop. But yeah, fire's looking really, really good. Gonna quickly whip up a frame and then we'll put the fish on. Yeah, baby, we've got the groper on the grill. We're probably gonna get a bit more rain this afternoon, evening, but hey, camp's looking a bit dry, it's looking good. Cannot wait. Yeehaw! Alrighty, so I'm all set up for tonight. I've got my tarp has been pulled extra taut, so no more wind and rain hopefully getting in from underneath. Like the rain was coming in yesterday at such an angle, or last night, that it was pushing into the underside of the hammock. I was dry, but a few of my things weren't, and I'll try and centralize everything a bit better. The drama with having a hammock tarp is you pretty much only get enough dry space for that center area where the hammock is, which isn't ideal for your stuff, because if you can't have it all kind of underneath you, or you can if you're prepared, you'd raise it up on bamboo, which is what I'm going to do tonight. But check this. Oh, you beautiful cod. Look at the bubbling. Oh, those juices be flowing. Thank you. Alrighty, this could go very badly. Wait. Woo. Oh, she's crispy as. Good job there. Scales have protected her. Alright, so there's one side done. Just got 5 minutes and then the other side will be done and we can eat. Alrighty, let's see how we can. Woo! Don't fucking drop this on the sand. We very nearly, oh, that can't stay there, oh, my beautiful face. Alrighty gang, so here we have it. We've got our cod. We've actually got a bit of lime, which I'm gonna squirt on over, and can't not, oh, I'll get sand in it, although it would look cool. No, you know what? For YouTube. Bum, 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 bum. I definitely do not recommend that this is how you open your coconuts at home. So we're going to have some kind of variation of like coconut. To the wet island that eventually came good. Cheers. Oh, that coconut's fresh. Alrighty, let's just get into some flesh. Oh, you guys are gonna love how white this is. Holy. It's still moist. I almost swallowed that before I had a chance to enjoy it. Holy shit, that's good. Even though I've absolutely charged the outsides to an absolute crisp, that is delicious. This is why we do what we do. This is... Cheers, wind. This is why we do what we do. This is why we spear fresh fish, and this is island survival plus limes, and yeah, not half bad, hey. So we'll cut this line open as everybody does. Oh, got to say, I'm absolutely loving the cave dive. Oh, juicy mama. There is something a little bit sexual about putting incredible lime juices like that onto a fish like this. Alright, one more mouthful and then I'm gonna say bugger off, leave me alone. Let's go crispy skin. Oh, that white goodness, my god. This is why we do it. Alrighty. Alright, so we are enjoying a nice fire, and I used a fork before, but way back with your hands. So we're still enjoying the cod and the groper, whatever you want to call it, and fire's roaring, sun's going down, rain is approaching, and I'm just going to sit out here and enjoy it until the rain hits. And yeah, I can't wait. It's really starting to feel the cold winds come in, so I know it's coming, but all this white flesh, perfectly cooked. The skin's a little bit charred, but the rest is all like juicy and meaty and super, super nice. So yeah, this is what life is about. One of my favourite things about being on these remote solo missions is you've just got so much time to think, and you can actually spend time thinking and appreciating everything, your entire surroundings, from the way that the wind feels on your skin, the way that the sand feels between your toes, the temperatures that you can feel. All of your senses are completely heightened to the natural world around you. You've got the smell of the fire, the cooking fish, you've got the sand beneath your toes, the wind against your legs, the smell of the ocean, and it all just comes together and makes you realise this is a good life. And I highly, highly recommend that people get themselves trained up, skilled, aware and knowledgeable about the outdoors, and go do this at least once in your lifetime. Live and experience. So the fire's doing good, still going with the last bit of fish, and as soon as that black thing hits me, I'm going to bed. You can feel the winds and stuff picking up now. That's not the ocean that you can see that's black, that is the sky with white cloud above it. My eyes are a little bit sore from the smoke. I've just got myself into the hammock because the rain is on its way. I can feel huge cold winds coming through, and that's really nice. It's dropped the temperature, I feel nice and comfy, but I know what comes behind it, and it is rain, lots of it. It's gonna be a wet evening. The fire's still going, but the fire will go out shortly when the rain hits. And yeah, just wanted to dry my feet off and get sand off my feet before I got into bed, and brought it all into the hammock. So here comes the rain. Alright, so just a quick recap on what's happened today. We got very, very wet this morning, had a rubbish sleep. The island was flooded, and there was no hope at all that the island was going to get any drier. And then we waited and we waited, and then finally the rain stopped. And then it started again. We gathered some firewood and stuff. It started again. I had saberfish, ceviche, and I was super hungry because that's not super filling. Ate a couple of coconuts, drank a couple of coconuts, then took myself into the water to go spearfishing as it was raining. Had a little swim around. Didn't see the jobfish from the day before, but I did see this grouper. I think it's a high fin grouper. And then I shot it, and then got out of the water, cooked him up on the fire, enjoyed a lovely fire, drank some more coconut, and then yeah, enjoyed a wicked fire until the rain came. And then I hopped inside my hammock, and now that's it. So what a day, guys. I really hope you've enjoyed it. It's been a wicked, wicked day. There was supposed to be a lot more of this in Fiji, but unfortunately 2 of the places that I went to, I got a sinus infection, and then I had non-stop rain for 2 weeks. So I just didn't bother doing it because of it was torrential. But there will be more to come, so stand by, because I've really enjoyed this. Despite the rain and despite all the shortcomings, I've really, really enjoyed myself. This is what I love to do, where I love to be, and yeah, stay tuned for more of this stuff. Thanks guys, catch ya.